Good morning, everyone. I'm Rusty Bausch, Elsevier's Senior Vice President for Corporate Market Sales. We're really excited to have you join our webinar today because this topic is of great importance to companies that invest in online information resources to support their R&D efforts. You might know that since 2005, Elsevier has been the leader in sponsoring independent market research into the accountability of investing in online information tools. For example, these projects have demonstrated a distinct correlation between having access to paid information tools and operating a successful R&D program. They've also shown how more productive researchers can be when having access to paid resources versus only having access to the free web. Earlier this year, Elsevier commissioned Martin Eckel & Associates to conduct the 5th project in our series. It was unique because instead of only measuring the impact of paid R&D tools on R&D outcomes, it also measured their impact in helping companies attain their business goals. Marty Eckel has more than 30 years experience in marketing and has been president of his own market research firm since 1987. His company, which is located in Chester, New Jersey, has worked for manufacturers such as GlaxoSmithKline, Novartis, Epson, Fujitsu, and Symbol Technology. They've also worked closely with media organizations such as the New England Journal of Medicine, Nielsen Business Media, Dun & Bradstreet, and Elsevier. Marty's presentation is entitled The Role of Paid R&D Information Tools in Helping Achieve C-Suite Objectives. Before I introduce Marty to you, please let me mention a couple things. He will present the research results within the next 30 minutes. If you have any questions during that time, please use the question box in the control panel on the right-hand side of your screen. Send those questions to us, and after Marty has finished his presentation, we will have time to answer your question. When the webinar is finished, we will make the presentation available to you and the recording of this session available to you as well. And now, I'm pleased to introduce to you Marty Eckel.
Thank you, Rusty. Hello, everyone. It's really a pleasure to share our findings with you today. As Rusty indicated, this is an especially important project in our research series because it takes all of us into a new dimension in measuring the accountability of paid R&D information tools. So let's take a look at the survey objectives. Our first objective is to reconfirm the impact of paid R&D information tools on achieving research objectives. Now, that has been a traditional focus of the 4 projects that have gone before this, to confirm the impact on research objectives. But secondly, we set a new objective, and that's to measure the impact of paid R&D information tools on achieving manufacturing objectives. And similarly, a new objective is letter C, is the impact of paid R&D information tools on achieving business objectives. And even more specifically, we wanted to measure the savings achieved by investing in R&D information tools. And lastly, we wanted to see if we could generate case histories, meaning examples of how information tools affect business outcomes. And by the way, if you take a look at the top of this slide, it talks about the role of paid R&D information tools in helping achieve C-suite objectives. By C-suite, we mean corporate objectives, corporate level objectives. Let's take a quick look at the methodology. As Rusty mentioned, this project was conducted by my organization, Martin Eckel & Associates. Here you can see some of our clients, manufacturers such as Novartis, Symbol Technologies, Epson, Fujitsu, etc., and major media companies such as the New England Journal of Medicine, Elsevier certainly, IDG, Time Ventures, etc. The specific methodology, the study was conducted earlier this year, April 2010. It was based on 57,000 registered users of Elsevier's databases in the corporate market across all global regions. These were users of databases such as EI and Compass, Embase, Engineering Village, Science Direct, Scopus. Titles and market segments, all types of professionals who use Elsevier's databases across all market segments. That includes pharmaceuticals, chemicals, automotive, biotechnology, etc., all types of markets. The medium used was email invitations, which had a link and took respondents to the online questionnaire. The survey was sent out over the Elsevier title. The questionnaire was in English. We used 2 incentives, a drawing for Apple gift cards and a donation to the CARE World Hunger Campaign. The response rate was 726 qualified or usable returns, and this gives us a margin of error of 3.7%, which is very respectable. Let's also take a quick look at some of the respondents' demographics. On the left side, you see that 100% were involved with R&D activities. Anyone who had no direct or indirect involvement with R&D was exited from the survey. So all these people understand the role of R&D in their organizations. Respondents' titles, about half were research staff members, such as scientists and engineers, a third R&D management, and the others were spread across corporate business management or, say, IT services. On the right side, you see where they worked. They're about equally split between the Americas, Europe, Middle East, Africa, and Asia Pacific. You can see that all of the respondents worked in corporate industrial organizations, types of businesses. About a third are processed products manufacturers, meaning pharma companies, food companies. About a fifth discrete product manufacturers, automotive and electronics, and almost half other types of companies, biotech firms, energy, healthcare providers, agricultural companies, etc. On the right side, you see examples of respondents' companies, such as 3M Corporation, Bristol Myers, Coca-Cola, DuPont, Ford, Honeywell, etc., Siemens. These are obviously company respondents who work at well-known organizations, but what we really have to focus on is that the respondents to this study worked for both small, medium, and large businesses. For example, on the left side, we see the number of data broken out by the number of people involved in R&D. About a third work at organizations who have 1,000 people or more working in R&D, but 20% work at those with 1 to 19 employees working in R&D, so small, medium, and large companies. We see the same kind of breakout, small, medium, large, in terms of annual sales revenue, 45% $1 billion or more in revenue, 13% less than 1 million, and the same thing with sizes of R&D budgets. Some budgets, a quarter of the budgets were 100 million or more, and something like 40% are here at less than 5 million. The last demographic we have here relates to how the R&D budget is allocated, where you can see on the left side over here the various line components of an R&D budget, such as compensation, research equipment and systems, research facilities, etc. You can see how it's broken out. About a quarter of the R&D budget is for compensation, 13% for equipment, etc. And this was important for us to ask this question because later on it will become part of the formula to determine the savings achieved in each of these specific areas by investing in information tools. So that's why we asked this question. Now starting to look at the heart of the results. The first thing that we measured was or reconfirmed was the impact of R&D information tools on achieving research objectives. You'll recall that we've done many projects to measure the impact on research objectives, but we wanted to reconfirm it once again. This is the definition provided to respondents regarding what we meant by R&D information tools. I'll just read a small part of it. Web databases, the definition is that of tools is web databases containing scientific, technical, or medical research articles, abstracts, back files, patents, etc. These tools enable knowledge transfer. They make available concepts, approaches, experiments, etc. that have already been developed to date for use by today's researchers. And these tools, and you can see in red, these tools are paid for either by you or your company. For example, tools like IEEE Explorer, SciFinder, Elsevier, ScienceDirect, Scopus, etc. So that's the definition of R&D information tools. And we can see the results to the impact that R&D information tools have on research outcomes. We specifically ask the question, check all the ways in which R&D tools contribute to the productivity of your research. If you take a look down here on the lower right-hand corner, that 99% indicated that information tools do impact research productivity. There were 13 different ways that they could say yes or no on, and the average person checked 8 different ways that R&D information tools impact research outcomes. These are led by helps stimulate ideas for innovation, 8 out of 10. Almost 3/4 said that having access avoids having to reinvent the wheel in the research process, and also 7 out of 10 said it makes the research process more efficient. It avoids wasted time and effort. So definitely we've reconfirmed that investments in R&D information tools impact the research effort. The first real new area that we wanted to delve into was the impact of R&D information tools on achieving manufacturing objectives, that is, among companies that actually have manufacturing efforts. And there were approximately 2/3 of the companies that are in manufacturing and use R&D and use information tools that use R&D in conjunction with their manufacturing efforts. And here we can see that R&D information tools are also effective in helping improve manufacturing operations and productivity. Here in the lower right-hand corner, 97% indicated that those tools contribute to improvements in manufacturing. These are led by 2/3 said it improves manufacturing yield and output when they have access to information tools, and more than half said it speeds the production process when they have when R&D has access to information tools. We also asked them for some of their comments regarding this dynamic, and just read a couple of them. The one on the top said, in effect, we used technical literature to help idea generation on reducing energy consumption, which resulted in a 5 to 20% potential operating cost, which to that company meant $5 million. This was a company in the chemicals, biochemicals area. Kind of dropping down near the bottom, someone indicated that they used information tools regarding the purification processes. R&D helped manufacturing to increase the yield, and the gain was $20 million for that pharmaceutical company. Next, someone indicated they used R&D information tools in the research process related to manufacturing regarding modeling of optimal plant operations, and the gain to them, or the savings, was $10 million. This was an automotive company. And lastly, there was a company that said it lowered the cost of heat treatment operations, potentially saving time, money, and CO2 emissions, and to them that was a savings of $600,000. So we can definitely see the impact of R&D information tools on research efforts and manufacturing efforts, but the question still remained to us earlier this year: do paid R&D information tools also contribute to achieving C-suite or corporate suite, or the corporate level, C-suite business objectives? So that's what we went after with the majority of the survey, to measure the impact of R&D information tools on achieving business objectives. The first thing we asked was to have the respondents rate the importance of 12 different business objectives to their companies. You can see on the left-hand side, these are the 12 different objectives, starting with within existing product lines, bringing new or improved products or processes to market, or extending patent life. It's worth kind of reading down this list. The other business objectives were responding quickly and effectively to customer demands, competing effectively, developing products that are more profitable, causing the business community to perceive your firm as a leader, a manufacturing business objective, accelerating the process and reducing costs, developing entirely new product lines or patents, ensuring that products will be found acceptable in approvals such as FDA approvals, etc., avoiding patent infringements, bringing products to market quickly, lowering the cost of research, and recruiting and retaining talented R&D professionals. And we can see that the #1 business objective is within existing product lines, bringing new or improved products to market. But if you take a look at the numbers in this column here, and these are those people who said that each of these business objectives is very important or important to their organization, 3/4 or more of these all 12 objectives are important to those organizations. So these really are the critical business objectives.